Have you passed your OET or your IELTS exam? You're undecisive on whether to work for the NHS or you want to work for the care home. Well, in today's video, I have a few pointers that might potentially help you to come to that decision. By the way, my name is Khane and I am a staff nurse here in the UK, but I am originally from Botswana. Do stay with me. So the first thing I want to talk on is obviously the workload, and that depends on one NHS trust to the other or one care home to another. So in most NHS trusts, it could be a nurse to patient ratio of 1 to 10 patients, or it could be less, maybe 1 to 7 patients depending on the trust, or you could get to work and find that you are going to nurse 13 patients. Right, so it all depends on the day and the time, but that is roughly the number of patients that you are likely to look after on the day. That is in NHS. However, in care homes, you become in charge of the whole unit that could potentially have about 25 to 30 or even 40 residents. So you assume that position of managing everybody, but obviously that is with the help of carers that are on the job in the day. That's as far as the workload, okay? I can't really speak much on care homes because I've never worked in a care home, but this is from my friends that have worked in a care home before and moved to the NHS. Another thing that you need to put into consideration is career progression. As a nurse, you want to know where you want to go in the next 5 years in terms of your career. I think that NHS nurses, they get to progress quicker, in the sense that there are a lot of specialties to choose from, and they may branch in wherever they want to go. There's so many specialties that they can do, and the NHS also, it puts funding towards training the nurses. They train nurses in different fields. However, in a care home, it might come up as expensive to train nurses to take trainings because they will have to hire probably a private tutor, or they will have to pay like privately to have those kind of training for their staff. If you want to specialize except being a manager, because in a care home the only thing you're looking at is to get in a managerial post, but however, if you want to be a nurse specialist, then NHS. Another thing that you need to also look into is clinical skills development. From my own opinion, I feel like NHS nurses, they get to develop skill-wise because they meet a lot of conditions, they get to manage a lot of conditions, so they get to do procedures that you might not be able to do in a care home. For example, like NG insertion, you get to do catheterization. Even if you do catheterization in a care home, you might do it like twice in a year or 3 times. Yeah, but in the NHS, you could put in a catheter 3 times in a day. That you need to keep into consideration as well, whether you want to develop in skill or you just want something else. But if you do want to develop in skill, do go to NHS. Care home nurses, depending on the care home, of course, they don't do a lot. Most of the things are done by the district nurses, like bed rail assessments, catheter care, which is something that NHS nurses are doing on a daily basis. Also in care homes, when you get to work, you just do your managerial role and stick to it. But with NHS, you get to develop so many skills even in different fields, because you could get to work and you're told that there is shortage in another ward that you've never worked before. You have no experience whatsoever in that department, and you will be told to go to that department. You could get a bit of skill and understand how to do certain things. So if you want to progress in your skill, no doubt, go to the NHS. The other thing that I want to touch on is the shift structure. In NHS, they just mix shift and it's not nice. When it comes to the structure of shifts, I might just say care homes are better, because with NHS, you can do 2 long days and 1 night, or you could do 1 long day, 1 night, and one long day as your third day of the week. There isn't that consistency, and also there isn't that routine that your body can get used to. I personally think that the shift structure in a care home, from a couple of friends that have worked in a care home, is way much better compared to the structure in the NHS, in the sense that in a care home you may stick to one thing. You might just choose to say, I'm a night nurse or I'm a day staff nurse. So if you're somebody who loves things done routinely, go to a care home, because in NHS it might be difficult to get exactly what you want. The next point is the main reason why most of us relocate in the first place. But wait, have you subscribed? If you haven't subscribed, click on the subscribe button below. Okay? Pay and salary. A lot of us relocated because we want money. Guys, there's no money in NHS. There's no money in NHS. Lower band 5, the pay rate is 14.5278 per hour. This is a band that most nurses that come from overseas, they start from. However, in care homes, nurses get about 17 to 24 pounds per hour. And it also depends from a care home to another care home, and also one company to another. But guys, if you want money, go to a care home. There's no money. There's no money in NHS. Another thing that we need to keep into consideration is the OSI training support after relocation. Most NHS trusts, they will not allow you to go to the wards until you have actually completed your OSI. You just go straight into class, you get trained, you get preparation that you need for the OSI exam, and that's when you can go to the wards once you have gotten your PIN. NHS trusts, they usually have like nurse educators that work within the trust, so they get to give you that support that you need to get ready for the exam. However, in care homes, they always have to hire someone privately to offer that sort of training, and it might come up as expensive for them, so they may get to give you like limited time to prepare for your OSI, so you might not really get all the suitable training that you need to get you well prepared. At the end of the day, it depends on you as an individual, on the kind of effort that you put towards your exam and how bad you really want to pass it. Okay, so guys, that's a few pointers that I think you need to put into consideration when you consider whether you want to work in the NHS or you want to work in a care home. So if you are working in a care home or NHS in the UK, just comment down below and tell us your experiences as a care home nurse or as an NHS nurse, so that people can be able to make an informed decision. However, guys, all depends on you as an individual, what you want. You look at your life, you assess your life, what can you handle and what can you not handle. You know yourself, you know your strength, you know your weaknesses. So at the end of the day, it's all up to you. We're all nurses, we are all important, we're all trained well. However, make proper research and be sure that when you start work, you have the best peace of mind. You know that you're not compromising a lot of things in your life just because someone advised you go to a care home or someone advised you go to the NHS. If NHS is not for you, don't go to NHS. If care home is not for you, don't go to care home. Okay, it's your decision. We're all important, we're all nurses, we're all well trained. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, click on the subscribe button, guys. Thank you once again for watching. Love you. Bye.